Hello, everybody. I did not plan on making an episode about Elon Musk, but I'm looking at this and I just happened to open up Twitter. It gave me this tweet thread, and I had to say something on it. So, Elon Musk, 2 days ago on December 12th, because I'm recording this on the 14th, he had a post that says, "Oh, Gary, how could you do this to me?" For quick knowledge base, Gary is referring to Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC. So, "Oh, Gary, how could you do this to me?" And this is a letter that is sent from his lawyer to the SEC saying, "Yesterday, the commission staff issued a settlement demand that required Mr. Musk agree within 48 hours to either accept a monetary payment or face charges on numerous counts. They indicated that this demand was the result of a directive from their superiors and that charges would be brought imminently unless Mr. Musk acquiesced. This demand follows a multi-year investigation and more than 6 years of harassment of Mr. Musk by the commission and its staff. More recently, the staff subpoenaed me, Mr. Musk's attorney, for testimony and threatened to send a process server if I did not immediately cooperate. I categorically refused. This week, the commission has also reopened an investigation into Neuralink. This series of events makes clear that the commission is not motivated to seek the truth, but instead is engaged in an improperly motivated campaign against Mr. Musk and the individuals and companies associated with him. We demand to know who directed these actions, whether it was you or the White House. These tactics are a misguided scheme, will not intimidate us. We reserve all rights. Yours truly, Alex Spiro." So, I see three big issues with this. First, the idea that the government says either pay us X dollars or we'll file charges against you. I don't think that's legal. I'm pretty sure the government is not allowed to go, "Well, it would be a shame if we had to file charges, or we can make them go away if you give us $500 million. That sounds like blackmail. That sounds like strong arming. That sounds like something that mafia tactics are based off of. So I'm pretty sure that this is ridiculous, and oh boy, can I not wait for the Trump administration to come in, because I'm tired of this shit. Elon Musk is the most wealthy individual in the United States. If they can bring him down by using process or threats, they can take literally every single one of you that are hearing this. If they can do it to him, the most wealthy person, they can do it to literally everyone. So that's the first thing. That's ridiculous. It's unethical. It's because if there were crimes that someone committed, they should always be seen as crimes. It should not be, "Hey, how about we do a settlement where you pay us this money?" No, the government's job is to enforce law. If he broke a law and they feel like he broke a law, they need to prove it in court. There's none of this. You're not plea deals still go to a court. They don't just get settled out of court. So I don't like this at all, and it screams red flags. And it should scream red flags to anybody that's not in a cult, because that is not the way the government is supposed to operate. The government is supposed to have to show absolute proof of anything anyone has done. Second part that really bothers me is the fact that, where is it in here? This demand follows a multi-year. This part. The staff subpoenaed me, Mr. Musk's attorney. There is attorney-client privilege. You cannot go to a lawyer and say, "You have to give us everything that your client under attorney-client privilege has talked to you about." That's not how that works. Now, maybe they're not asking for that type of stuff, but imagine if when prosecuting someone for theft or murder or something like that, the prosecution was allowed to then go to that lawyer and go, we need to get all of your notes on all of your meetings with your client. Oh yeah, even the ones where he said, yeah, he did it, but here's why, or here's how you could fight it. You could literally just steal admissions of guilt from someone who is supposed to be protected by attorney-client privilege. That is the current administration breaks all civil rights over and over and over again, and this is absolutely ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. You cannot do that. Then, this part here, they're also reopening an investigation into Neuralink. Now, we'll get to that in just a second, specifically in what it is, but once an investigation is closed, unless new information comes out or comes to the organization, which I don't think any new information has come to them, considering this investigation was concluded ages ago, unless that information comes to them, there's no reason for them to reopen it other than we're trying to use the process to punish him. Because sometimes the process is the punishment. It's not about putting you in jail. It's about making you spend a couple $1,000,000 in defense fees or tons of money on this or that. So I fully agree with the basic conclusion of this lawyer's email saying that it's not about the truth. This is all about hurting Elon Musk, because the second that Elon Musk started vocalizing populist feeling, the moment he started saying, Black Lives Matter wasn't right, the second he started saying different things, they started targeting him. They started coming after him hard. And they started opening up investigations. And this was all under the Biden administration. I am willing to bet that whenever this all comes out, it's going to be that the White House themselves were telling Gary to do this. And Gary was fully on board with it. And when that comes out, I think, honestly, they need to be actually prosecuted. And if someone's using government positions to punish American citizens, it is a breach of our civil rights, and they should be charged as such. So you've got, they did a quick recap that they're issuing a settlement demand for him to give money, or they're going to file charges in 48 hours. So that should be coming out soon, considering that they said, if you don't do this, we're going to charge you. They're harassing him. That's definitely the case. That they reopened a Neuralink investigation. That there's allegations of improper motivation against the SEC, which sure looks like it to me. Demands for information because they are telling the lawyer to give them information that is not, they have no right to get. And then, they basically say that you can't intimidate us. That's a quick recap. Going to that investigation on Neuralink, it is all apparently stemming around the idea that there were monkeys that died during animal trials. Now, firstly, I'm willing to bet that they are following regulation on what kind of animal testing is permitted and what is supposed to be done. You know why? Because doing trials of any sort, if you do something improper or unethical, stands for a risk of either getting your entire thing shut down, whatever it is, whether it's a pharmaceutical drug or a surgery or, in this case, an implant, would be able to be shut down immediately if you do something improper. But then second is that you can incur massive fines, massive penalties against you in one way or another, and potentially lawsuits if it's in the human trials portion. If it ever is discovered that something went up to human trials and it was not at a level it needed to be, then yeah, there's going to be civil lawsuits as well. So this whole thing was about, I think it was 18 monkeys. But the key for the SEC was that in a letter, I don't think I have it open right now, but basically in a letter Oh wait, here it is. For early implants to minimize risk to healthy monkeys, we chose terminal monkeys that were already close to death to see how the implants worked, basically. Um, Yet, public records show that there were 12 previously healthy animals that were euthanized as a result of complications. And the question is, what are the 12 previously healthy animals' statuses? Was it something that was caused by Neuralink? Was it something that was caused by perhaps too much or too little anesthetics? Was it something that arose that wasn't related to it? Why did it happen? How many healthy animals didn't have to be euthanized? Things like that. And the reason why I ask these questions is because the SEC, not FEC, SEC did an investigation already into Neuralink on this whole basis and found not enough evidence to continue the case, and thus closed it. So if they closed the case, that means that they looked at these 12 healthy animals and found it was not meriting any charges or any prosecution or anything. So they already did the investigation. I don't know what could possibly be going on that would have caused them to reopen this after closing it. It's been over a year since this was closed, and they're just now reopening it at the same time that they're saying, pay us money or else we're going to file charges against you. This sounds like a coordinated administration-wide targeting of a political opponent who is wealthy. So that's my thing on that. But at the same time, I went and I looked. I went, all right, let's see how many deaths of humans occurred. Well, actually, I was searching for animal deaths in Pfizer studies because Pfizer does a lot of studies. They're going to use tests on animals. Sometimes they use smaller things like rodents. Sometimes they use pigs. They use all sorts of stuff because pharmaceuticals you want to test. It actually gave me a thing about a wing of the COVID vaccine trials. In this case, Pfizer BioNTech possessed records showing that 8 deaths, 4 in the arm that was involved with the COVID vaccine, and 4 in the placebo arm, should have been disclosed by Pfizer to the FDA. Okay? So basically, this letter from, I believe it was Kansas's Attorney General or someone from Kansas. I can't remember exactly which role they were. Where was it? It was sent to the Attorney General of Kansas. But 8 deaths should have been disclosed to the FDA by Pfizer. No investigation is currently underway by the FDA against Pfizer for not informing them of their fatalities in this trial run, in this COVID vaccine trial. So, why does one get targeted and charged potentially if they continue on with this, reopening it and whatnot? Why would one get charged while the other one is human deaths that were not disclosed? And it's fine. It's because Pfizer plays ball. Pfizer is one of their big folks up in Washington. It's a group. We should not be allowing pharmaceuticals to run campaigns on advertisement platforms of any sort. It should be against the law. Europe has that right, because the only way you should know about a drug is if your doctor says, I think this drug would be beneficial to you. We need to get rid of the idea that we have people who are going to their doctor asking, what about this drug? I've seen it on TV. I think I should try it. That's not what we want here in America. So the just double standard of these two is crazy to me. And then I looked at additional investigations. So I know that the Justice Department sued SpaceX. Why? Because they didn't want to hire asylees and refugees. Now, I'm sorry, but that's a private company. If they choose that they don't want to hire someone based on their immigration status, and by immigration status, I mean you don't know if something's going to change. A refugee could have their status taken away if it's found that they did something improper, and same with asylees. They are not permanent status immigration. They could go away. Something could change, and they're out. So also the fact that it's a third party company, they can't get involved with that. They're not ignoring people because of their race. They're ignoring them because of their immigration status. And that is not something that is a protected class. It's not. You cannot do that. In fact, it's often said that it's supposed to be illegal to hire someone that's an illegal immigrant. Because we're supposed to have laws that actually put that in place. But point is, they brought a lawsuit against them for not hiring asylees and refugees when it's one, not a protected classification, and two, it's their company. If they don't want to put the money into training up an asylee or a refugee that may not be there in the future, that's their prerogative. Also, I'm not guessing that we've got a ton of asylees and refugees that are rocket scientists. So, no, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous. So, that's it's just stupid. It's like whenever they made a stink about the idea that one of the gas station companies was not hiring people, or no, it was just about them running a background check, and they said it was racist. That's not how it works. So, and then I found the last one where Tesla is being investigated for securities and wire fraud for self-driving car claims. In this case, they were being investigated because they said that they were, I'm thinking that they were saying that their cars were self-driving, and then they weren't as self-driving as people thought they were going to be. I'm sorry, but the whole thing is around the idea that they lied to investors, saying that their cars could self-drive when they couldn't. When I'm pretty sure that this is just an iterative process. The first wave of self-driving cars is not as good. The second is better. The third is even better than that. And it gets exponentially better. I'm not sure exactly what was said back in 2021, but they've done a pretty good job with their autonomous capabilities year after year. They've improved year after year. And I don't know if any actual investors in Tesla are complaining about what he said with that. Yet, here we are with the Department of Justice, once again, under Joe Biden, investigating Elon Musk and trying to charge him. So, I'm sorry to say this, but especially whenever you look at this, where it's about quote-unquote lying to investors versus literally lying to the FDA about deaths in this research, there's no way for me to be justified, or for me to be justified, for you to justify it to me, no way to justify it to me, that this is not targeted harassment. The only place that I didn't see an article on investigation that is tied to Elon Musk is X. And I'm pretty sure there was investigation into X. And I'm just not seeing the articles written on that whenever I was doing my research. I'm pretty sure there's still an X investigation that happened at some point. So my whole point is this. Elon Musk, golden boy of the left for ages, years and years, from the moment he opened Tesla in like 2013, 2014. I can't remember exactly what year it opened. All the way up through 2021, because in 2021 he was Time's Person of the Year. As soon as he starts saying stuff that does not go with the left talking points, he is targeted by the DOJ multiple times. He's targeted by the SEC. He's targeted by every government organization that can target him under the Biden administration. And this is what people are talking about when they say that there's a weaponization of government organizations. Elon Musk, if he is able to be targeted as the richest person in America, anyone can be targeted. Or at least I'm pretty sure he is still the richest person in America. So, with that, leave a comment down below with your thoughts. But I'm sure hoping that whenever Trump takes office, we can actually get a review of all the organizations, and anyone who is willing to weaponize it against their political opponents is removed, because this is not a democracy whenever you have targeting of your political opponents. That is an authoritarian state, and it's just a matter of time before any authoritarian state starts trying to kill their political opponents past putting them in prison. Every single time it ends up being murders, just like there was just an AI whistleblower who just got killed. I'm saying got killed. He was found dead, air quotes. That's not a coincidence. Just like the Boeing whistleblower was quote unquote found dead. I'm noticing a pattern. I know you guys do too. So, with that, thank you. Please hit the subscribe button, watch another video, enjoy your day, your evening, or your weekend. And I will see you guys in the next video.